ලයිෆ් බොයි ෂැම්පු චූටි රුපියල් 70යි.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa issued a host of instructions today to officials with regard to the distribution of fuel given the extreme shortage the country is undergoing at the moment. Through a media communique issued today by the President's Media Division, the President instructed the authorities to take steps to systematically distribute stocks of fuel that have been received and are to be received in the next few days. The President also said that the Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank should work together with state and private banks to issue letters of credit in order to facilitate the importation of sufficient stocks of fuel to the country. The remarks were made by the head of state during a special discussion held on the fuel crisis at the President's house in Fort today. During the discussion, attention was directed towards the possibility of entering into long-term fuel supply agreements with suppliers. Meanwhile, the President stated that since public transport is a priority when distributing fuel, steps should be taken to issue fuel to private and tourist buses and school vans using refilling stations owned by the Sri Lanka Transport Board under the supervision of the police. It was also decided to continue to issue fuel from refilling stations for essential services with Army and STF security provided. The head of state emphasized that security forces should be directed to strictly enforce the law against those who hoard fuel for black market resale. Meanwhile, following the discussions between the President and energy and banking sector officials on the opening of letters of credit through state and private banks, the People's Bank today opened letters of credit worth $42.6 million to purchase 300,000 barrels of 92-octane petrol. In other developments, given the limited operation of public transport, the Ministry of Education has taken steps to reallocate teachers to schools located in close proximity to their residences. However, the ministry stated that the transfers would be subject to a host of conditions that must be met by the teacher who wishes to be transferred to a nearby school. In the meantime, the Ministry of Education has also instructed fuel stations to prioritize teachers reporting to examination centres when issuing fuel. Meanwhile, on the domestic LP gas front, Litrogas Lanka Limited announced that the company is only issuing gas for essential and commercial purposes. Despite this news and calls for the public to avoid queuing up, the general public continues to flock outside distribution outlets.